Till now we covered the process of sedimentation. So from the beginning we saw the plain sedimentation, and then we saw the sedimentation aided with coagulation and flocculation. So in this process, after this sedimentation has taken place, and if we are using some coagulant, then then the turbidity is removed from the water, and apart from that, some of the bacteria is also removed in this coagulation aided sedimentation. After that, we move for our next process of treatment, that is your filtration. So we have different types of filters available, and we can classify them as gravity filters, and then we have pressure filter. So in gravity filters we have two filters, that is slow sine filter and rapid sine filter. So in these filters, the water, if this is our filter bed, then water will be kept on this filter bed and it will simply get filtered due to the action of gravity, or due to their own weight. We are not applying any additional pressure, whereas in pressure filters we apply some additional pressure. So we will see these filters one by one, starting with these gravity filters. But before that, let's understand the theory of filtration. Theory of filtration, we will try to understand how the filter works and what are the processes that take place due to which filtration happens. So first process is mechanical straining. What happens in mechanical straining? So let's say this is our filter bed, which is made up of sand particles. Now the impurities, let's say this incoming water is there, and in this incoming water some impurities will be there whose size is greater than the size of these voids which is there between the filter material. So obviously they will be retained on the surface of this filter material and the water will become clearer. That is your mechanical straining. Now after these impurities have been retained on the surface, another layer, or we can say another mesh, is formed. Now the impurities which are further in of smaller size than these impurities which were retained earlier, then these green ones, these are the further smaller impurities, they will also get, they will also be retained on the surface and removed from the water. So this way this mechanical straining works. After that we have flocculation and sedimentation. So this water is coming from, mostly if it is a rapid sand filter, then it is coming from the coagulation tank, and some of the particle, let's say flocks did not form for them, so some of the particles remain small in size, so they will come in these voids. Now they are gelatinous matter, that is sticky, they have their sticky surfaces, so other matter will come, other finer particles will come, and this size will get bigger between the voids only. So these small voids that are there, let's say this is one void which is there of this filter bed material. So in this void only it will act like a sedimentation tank. Initially one small particle will come and it will attract other particles, so the size of the particle will increase and it will be entrapped in the void. So that's how these voids act as sedimentation tank, and it helps in removing the impurities which are of very small size, even smaller size than the voids which is there between this filter material. That is your second process. After that, third one is biological metabolism. So the water contains some of the microorganisms. So this water which is coming, it will contain some microorganism, and these microorganisms will reside in the voids. And in this incoming water, some organic impurities will also come. So organic impurities, as they come, these microorganisms that are there in the voids, they use the organic impurities. And what are the organic impurities? So for example, algae may be present in water or plankton may be present. So now these microorganisms will use these impurities as their food, and they will metabolize this organic matter and they will convert them into harmless compounds. So the water will become pure, and these impurities, I mean this organic matter, will be removed. So this layer of harmless compound, as it gets removed, so it will form a layer. So let's say there is a layer, so a layer gets formed on the surface, and we call this layer as Schmutz stack or the dirty skin. This is another process. After that, one more process that takes place is your electrolyte charges or electrolytic charges. What happens in this process? So these sand grains of this filter bed, they have different electric charge, and the water, I mean the impurities in water have different electric charge. So as this interaction between the impurities and sand bed takes place, these electric charge gets neutralized, and because of that water becomes purer. So that is another action which helps in purifying the water. So these are the four processes that takes place in the filter bed. Now let's see the various filters. So first we will see the slow sand filter. In case of slow sand filter, we use a total depth of filter bed of 90 to 110 centimeter, and this top 15 centimeter of this filter material, it is made up of very fine sand, and remaining material in this remaining depth is made up of uniform size, and this size will be greater than this top depth. So that is the top depth, and the effective size what we use here, effective size denoted as D10, it is kept between 0.2 to 0.4 mm. So what is this effective size? We have seen in soil also. So let's say effective size is 0.2 mm, then if we are talking about this filter material, then only 10% of the material will be such that the size of the particles of this 10% will be less than 0.2 mm, not more than 10%. Only 10% of the particles will be of smaller size than this 0.2 mm. That is your effective size. Similarly, uniformity coefficient, it is kept between 1.8 to 2.5, and it is given as D60 by D10. So similarly, as we defined the D10, D60 can be defined. So if we are using, I mean the water depth what we use above this filter, it is same as the filter depth. So if we are using a filter depth of 90 centimeter, then this water what we apply on this top of filter, it will be of 90 centimeter. And the water we use, what we apply in slow sand filter, it directly comes from the plain sedimentation tank. We do not apply coagulant in this case, because the particle size which is taken in case of slow sand filter, it is very small, and if we have used coagulant, then they will stuck on the surface, or be they will stuck in these voids, and because of that this process of filtration will be hampered, and because of that reason coagulants, I mean the slow sand filter doesn't work well with coagulants, so coagulants are avoided in this case. And apart from that, if water is very turbid, then also these slow sand filters are not very effective. Now talking about the working of these filters, so how do they work? We apply this water up to this depth of filter, and then the various processes what we have seen, they will be taking place, and we will get the effluent from here. So initially when we apply the water, we do not use effluent up to 24 to 36 hours. Because what happens when we have just applied the effluent, initially what happens, in these 24 hours a very small layer is formed of these impurities, and this small layer which is formed, it helps in the purification, because this is very major factor which contributes to the purification. So this layer is required for this purification, and this layer takes around 24 to 36 hours for this formation. So we do not use the water up to this 24 to 36 hours. Only after this we will use this effluent what we are getting from slow sand filter. And how about the cleaning of filter? So cleaning of filter we do when the head loss exceeds 0.7 to 1.2 meter. So let's say we have this filter here, this material is there, and here you have applied water on the surface, and on the downstream this is the level of effluent water what we are getting. So this level of water and this level of water, this is the head loss that is taking place here. So head loss is nothing but the what is the total energy here and what is the total energy here. Loss in that is your head loss. And if we are just talking about the pressure energy, so total energy here will be the summation of pressure plus datum. I am not going into the detail. So just how, why we term this head in terms of energy. So because you have remember from the statics that P is equal to gamma into H, and so from here we can represent the pressure in terms of height, and that's what we do. So if you want to convert this height into pressure, we just have to multiply with the unit weight of water. So that way we can find out energy loss, which we normally call as head loss. More about this we'll see in fluid. So when this head loss exceeds zero point 0.2 to 0.7 to 1.2 meter, we go for cleaning of filter. And for the cleaning, what is done? This top layer is removed. So around 1.5 to 3 centimeter of top sand is removed, and then this filter is scraped and it is cleaned with water and scrapped. For this, I mean, we do not use, you can simply remember, we do not use backwashing in case of slow sand filter. That is the major point which is of importance here. So that's how we do the cleaning of this filter. Then again, after the cleaning, we will not use the effluent for up to 24 to 36 hours until that layer is formed, and only after that we will use the effluent from this slow sand filter. So the what is the reason why slow sand filters are not used nowadays? The reason is rate of filtration. Rate of filtration is very low in case of slow sand filters. Whereas if you talk about their purification abilities, then they can clear up to 98 to 99% of bacteria, which is very good. Apart from that, they can remove taste and odor, but they are not good with colors. Whereas rapid sand filters can remove colors also. So if they are removing so much of bacteria, why we are not using? Because the rate of filtration is very low. It is between, I mean, it is about 1/30th of rapid sand filter. And nowadays we have disinfection techniques. So whatever water we get from filters, we apply some disinfectant on this, such as chlorine. So because of these disinfection techniques, we do not need very clear water from filters. We can later do the disinfection and remove the bacteria. That's why we do not use slow sand filters. These are only used for very small plants or villages, etc. And these are designed for maximum daily demand, and the design life of these filters is 10 years. So I think these are the sufficient point you can remember about the slow sand filters. If you have any doubts, please ask. and subscribe to our channel and see the other videos and playlists what are available. Thank you.